Yeah, you think I'm just going to hit record now? You think we're just going to quickly end our conversation of 20 minutes so awkwardly? Yeah, that's right, I did. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Piece episode. Oh, God, what is it? What episode number is this? It's like 6, 7,
or 8?
3084. I don't know.
You lost the one episode.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for context, Watkins and I did a whole episode about why criticism is okay and that kind of stuff. And, well, the footage got corrupted, so we can never see that glorious conversation. I think it was one of our best episodes yet. It was so good.
The internet didn't want it. It just didn't want it.
They weren't prepared.
No.
They weren't prepared to hear, and I'm just going to say this out of context, they weren't prepared to hear that One Piece Part Warriors 4 is a terrible game because Enel wasn't in it. God damn. If I can find a way to recover that, that'd be awesome. But that is not the subject for today's episode. No. Today's subject matter is it's kind of like a hot topic, not the store, just a hotly debated topic that swarmed the masses on Twitter and YouTube. And well, I hope you guys appreciate the work I put into this little thumbnail.
I rate your Photoshop skills.
Oh, thank you. Fun fact: all of my editing had if I needed any visual edits done, I just go through PowerPoint.
Yep.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah. I'm a cheap ass bum when it comes to YouTube, but it works.
Not gonna lie, ever since you told me that, I've been using PowerPoint nonstop with everything.
Yes. I'm gonna try that out.
Yep.
Yay!
But it's just so easy.
But yeah, the subject today is just we're not going to go over Sanji as a whole, because at that point we would just be scattering this return to an 8-hour-long special. I mean, I could go that, but I know you guys have lives to get back to, so we're going to be talking about just the Onigashima raid. And we're going to try to determine, if this arc is truly killing Sanji as much as everyone else is saying. Or not everyone else. More like, is it like a 50-50 for you guys? Like, half the fan base is defending it, half the fan base is like, this is absolutely dog shit for Sanji. I know JD gave up the cause.
I'm seeing like a 70-30 split.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe more like 65-35. I don't know. I still see the praise, but there's a lot of negativity with it.
What about you, Mr. Prince? What do you see?
So I'm not gonna lie. So also I did see JD Legend kind of almost give up a bit on Sanji, but in general there are still a few that are sticking by him, and I'm one of the few, by the way. And I don't think it's as bad as everyone thinks, but we'll get onto that later. But in general, I'd say quite a few people have given up on him.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that's I don't give up on him, but I'm just disappointed in the writing that was given to him. It's it's not obliterated, not yet, but we could do better.
Right.
I haven't lost hope yet. Well, so Watkins, you said you were doing right.
Do what?
Oh, what's up, Prince?
I was going to say, I don't want to go on a run right now, but I know where you're going out in regard to the writing, but I mean, it's Oda's story, isn't it? So he can write whoever he wants, however he wants.
Okay, well, actually, for that, I would say, okay, let's just say that I wrote a story, and it was, about this farmer. And it's, this very human, it's a very grounded story. It's just this farmer trying to grow crops, and, you're really into, the world of this guy. It's the real-life struggles of this guy. And then suddenly, it's but suddenly, Farmer Ted, he suddenly, finds that his patch of lettuce has transformed into a Godzilla-like figure, and it can breathe lightning shit, and it just goes on for 3 years fighting this beast, and then it ends, just goes right back, and it's whoa there, I like the world, but don't worry, I can avoid the criticism because it's my story and I can do it however I want. I don't think that always works. If the writer has some tismic writing, I think we can call that out because nothing is above criticism there.
All right, so I probably phrased it wrong. So because nothing's above criticism, so you can criticize whatever you want whenever you want. But in terms of the story, I think where Oda he uses Sanji in particular moments to maybe prop someone else up, and I think that's what people hate. It's like, why is it always Sanji he uses?
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I've seen that argument going around, especially regarding Sanji. Like, why is he the one that has to be stepped on in order for somebody else to like rise up?
Yeah, and then I guess then it's like it's like, well, it's because it's his chivalrous nature. He will always let people go above him just so that they can go on or something like that.
Well, I think it's because Sanji as a character probably has the most layers to him prob- probably in the whole Straw Hats. If I'm deadly honest, like there's a lot of like emotional sort of like there's a huge emotional element in regards to Sanji, such as
Mhm.
from his family to his chivalrous nature to his to his backstory to the expectations people have for him. Like I feel like if you imagine like a diagram and it's just got like arrows pointing out of every direction, and whereas like I hate using Zoro because it always comes to an argument, right? It's kind of like Zoro's very like he's an amazing character and he's very one dynamic, and it's like you know what you expect from Zoro and he's going on that path, that journey. It's very one dimensional, whereas like Sanji, there's so many more dimensions, and it's kind of like everyone might want Sanji to act in a similar way to Zoro, but that's not what his character is. His character has so much more than that. So if Oda's expanding on another part of him, there's a huge like amount of people who don't like it, and I think you have to embrace the character for what they are.
I see where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
think for me it was like like he had those layers before in like the pre-time skip, and I've noticed during not all through the post-time skip, but like during this raid specifically, it kind of focuses on one aspect of the character, and that was kind of like his whole gag shtick. Well, he gets like a badass moment here and there. It's like predominantly like, oh, he's gonna fall victim to his gag, his obsession with women. And I think what I wanted, and I think Otamark said this before the other day, it's like, what would it take to get me back on the Sanji train? It's like, just let him, let him act more than just the gag. Let him break free, spread his wings, fly away. Copyright claim.
Yeah, like the gag is fine. Like the gag can be fine and all that. It's just I think for me it's the use of the gag in certain moments.
And we will
So
get to those.
well, I'll get to it right now. The one panel of this whole raid that just irks me to no end. It's the panel where he's like, I can't give up on the women and leaves everybody to look for the prostitutes. For me, that's just like, okay. I know you're because I know Oda was setting it up for him to like save Momo and all that, but like first of all, I want the context of how he said that, because it also depends on how he says something, because since we're reading it, we only think of it as interpret it as, oh, he's just going to look for women. But if he says it in a way that's like mysterious or like holding what's the right word for it? Like, I'm not giving up on fighting ladies, or like some way that like kind of hints at some sort of ulterior motive to this, you know.
Well,
So it's all about like how he says it, and since we're reading this, we can't really hear how Sanji is saying this, if any of that makes sense.
what I'd say is, and thanks for getting the panel up, Trevor, because I hear exactly where you're coming from, Walkins. But like people forget that the setup for this was ages ago. Like we've known that Sanji wanted that invisibility fruit. He wanted Absalom's fruit, and then he always came to that sort of resolution where he was like, okay, I'm never going to get this fruit now, because realistically he probably could have killed Absalom and then the fruit would have been out there somewhere again for him to go and get. But Oda basically used the raid suit in order to give him the power of invisibility, and that was just literally the first arc, the last arc before we came to Wano. And so now he's got the power of invisibility. We saw him use it against Page One, and now he's like, okay, I really am invisible, and this is a land full of loads of women, and I can finally do what I've always wanted to do, which was the whole perversion sort of aspect. So it's kind of like not giving up on that. Well, he's gonna go find some ladies. So, and I completely get it, because Oda's basically just playing on the gag and he loves it. But I mean, this has always been a part of Sanji's character, so it's something that we could expect. And I, I, I don't really think that in isolation people can be mad at, because he's gone to the bathhouse, and in fact he saves like Nami and co when they were inside the bathhouse anyway. So he was kind of like in the right place at the right time.
Did
But
he?
then going forward, him, that is Sanji. Like it's part of his character. It's always been part of him. But it's how it's expanded on later down the line, where Oda just goes that bit too far with it, and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
like, I'm
and
getting over
this is the part that's a little too far with it. Like the bathhouse thing, that's fine because again, like you said, he ended up like saving Nami and Robin and Shinobu from who was it? It was Drake and
Oh,
Hawkins
yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that part's fine because like that adds, a reasoning to his gag. Oh, he was there at the right time for all this. But it's things like this because, and this is why I want context of how he said it, because you're in the middle of a raid in Yonko territory. You're around two women because correct me if I'm wrong. He was with Nami and Carrot before he left them, right?
Yeah, for context for the audience too,
Yeah.
this whole chapter was Big Mom found a chopper outside
Yes.
her window, starts chasing him down, and so she basically found them. So Nami, Carrot, and Sanji are off screen, they're running about, and then when the next time we see Nami and Carrot, we see this interaction you guys can see on screen. It's just like, where did Sanji go? Oh, well, I found Sanji, but he said, oh, I left to go find the ladies, and Nami's like, what the fuck?
So, like, I know it's, also setting up for the whole thing with Momo, but it's just like, I don't know, like, how can you use his gag like this to, this for me seems out of character for Sanji. Like,
well, it's not that bad.
It's playing on that gag of him wanting to see the ladies and all that stuff. But again, like, if he's so chivalrous, why doesn't he just stay with Nami, or excuse me, Nami Swan, and like protect her through this raid? Like, to me, this really just like stuck out. And again, that's why if there's context behind what he says, then I will take that over if it actually is just him trying to find ladies.
Yeah, it's the whole thing I found. Oh, go for it.
I was going to say, correct me, just for the context, wasn't this where he had heard something, and he thought he heard a lady scream?
That was
that's
when,
later on.
that was when he was with Luffy and Jinbei.
Yeah, that's like 27 chapters down the line.
Yeah, and that one's fine because again, he hears somebody, so that's, or like senses it or whatever. He hears somebody. Yeah, so that one I can forgive as well because that to me is fine. It's just this random. I'm not giving up on finding ladies in the middle of a raid. Like, just
to help
again. I know. I keep harping on it, but like again, it's just if I knew how he said it, if he sounded like he had an ulterior motive, fine, because then that also ties into the whole like Mr. Prince kind of thing aspect of, oh, I have an idea in mind, I know what I need to do, or figure out something I need to do.
Yeah, to help elaborate, it's like we don't really have any reason to believe that Sanji has like this ulterior motive because my whole thing with this whole raid is that for Sanji, it's like there's a time and a place for everything, dude. Trying to find a ladies when there's like this secret raid and secrecy is going to be the best way. It's like, dude, time and place for the gag, man. Keep focused on the mission. You got Nami and Karen. You want to protect them, right? Pretty please.
Yeah.
And some people say like, well, they're being chased by Big Mom. What's Sanji going to do? It's like there are many things Sanji could do. Many things
like Black Big Mom, like he did in Whole Cake Island,
or just use his super speed like he did with Up and try to just zoom past. Like, and this is what I bring up in One Piece Stampede. It's like if we don't see something, I would rather have seen the. Okay, goddamn it, I have to give context. So there's a scene where Douglas Bullet has Usopp pinned. He's dying. He's on the ground. And Luffy is like, all right, everyone, back off. He says this to Zoro and the rest of his crew, back off, go find a way out of here. I'm going to take on Bull and I'm going to save Usopp on my own. And yet during the fight that Luffy and the Supernovas have, not once do we see the effort of Luffy trying to save Usopp from the battlefield because everyone's throwing attacks at Bullet and Usopp is just lying dead in the center of the battlefield. It's like, how come you didn't even try to save him? And then some people defend it as, well, it's Bullet. Bullet would never allow like Luffy to, achieve something. It's like, okay, I wish we could have seen that, I wish I wanted to see the effort and not just not the result. You know what I mean? Am I making sense at all?
I mean, it's just Usopp. He'll be fine.
Oh my god. But it's like, for this particular moment, like this one instance, it's just time and place for everything. It is in character, but it's also like very disappointing or just very mad that Sanji is choosing now to be like, I'm not going to give up on women. He says as there is a Yonko chasing down his crewmates, and just like, dude, what the fuck? And I think the obvious defense for that is, but hey, because he left, he went to go save Momo. It's like, we don't know that because unfortunately, all we can think of in terms of like a canon explanation, unless it's shown, is that Sanji went invisible to go find the women in the or not the bat hall, just in this prostitution hall. He went invisible, tried to find some women, tried hanging around them for a little bit. He then found Momo trapped on the execution platform because of Kaido's announcement. And then Sanji's like, oh no, Momo might die. I better go save him. And then that's what led to that moment. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say the problem there is probably it's just bad writing from Oda, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. And I think Oda needed an excuse to get Sanji out of there in order so that he could have the moment and save Momo. But I think it was just poorly executed because you could have kind of like off-screened him and had him turn up at a later point. But I just think it's bad writing.
Yeah, like you could easily have a fix of like if we had creative control, I could easily have the scene of like Big Mom is chasing down the Straw Hat. She's chasing down Nami, Karen, and Sanji, and she throws like maybe a fireball, and Sanji notices a window, and using his super speed, grabs both of them, goes to the window, and you just see a giant explosion. They make their escape because now they're inside. They're in this giant castle area. They're like small targets there so they can get away. Or maybe Sanji could kick a roof down, try to break the ceiling down on top of her, distract her for just 3 seconds, long enough to use that speed of his and get out of there.
Or if you really wanted to separate them, have Big Mom separate them.
Yes.
Like have her like speed blitz them, just separate them by like crashing into the floor or something. Like, yeah, that could have worked too. If you really wanted to separate them, yeah. Sorry. This was actually like the biggest part for me though, was Sanji in the raid.
Yeah, so, it was a lot of things. Oh, I'm sorry, Prems.
Yeah, so no, because I think I'm gonna like skip past that moment a little bit and say I think for us on being on Twitter and being part of the community, don't you just think that things are inflamed a bit more, and it's just they're made to seem worse than they are? And because
Yeah.
because I've got like friends. I've got my younger brother, and they're not on like any Twitter or anything like that. And to them, it's just part of the story. Like they don't see it being terribly bad or anything like that. And I mean, I'm guessing even at that moment, it was kind of like, oh damn, like Sanji's off to go find ladies. Oh, next moment, oh, he saves Momo. And I think people were okay with that. I don't think. I mean, at the time, because we read week to week, it felt bad for like 1 week, and then a couple of weeks later, he saves Momo, and it's kind of like, okay, that's why. And I think it's all right. But
Yeah.
the biggest issue was the more recent chapter where was it 2 chapters ago, where
Yeah.
with the whole Robin and Black Maria aspect, and it's kind of like I think that blew things out of proportion like completely.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like
it kind of did.
yeah, walk-ins can attest to this in our own group chat. Like you, Noltamarks, and I've noticed this in like other group chats too. They were just like when Sanji says Robin help me and announces his location to the others, everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people were like, this fucking ruined Sanji. That was the thing that made JD, one of the biggest Sanji fans, be like, I'm done. And I'm just sitting there, it's like, guys, I criticize Sanji's and like Sanji Noda a lot for this arc, but what the fuck is the problem here? I don't see it. I think
Like,
yeah. So perhaps like things just explode out of for like I don't know.
And
For
I'm
like
not gonna lie, like most of that is from like just reactionary. So it's just
yes,
a very reactionary thing. Like I will readily admit, I can be very reactionary with things, but after I calm down and think about it, I'm like, okay, it could have been done better, but it really isn't that bad of a thing.
exactly.
And
That's
and
what I
that's
was trying to say.
yeah, and that's kind of where I was at with that moment. Like, yeah, initially I was just like, I have a problem with this. I think this could have been done better. And the fact that you were the only one in our group chat that didn't have a problem with it, we were like, is this the end of days? Like, what? We were like, we're waiting for Trevor to be like, this is horrible writing, Sanji, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh,
No,
well, shit. Okay,
it
well,
makes sense. Do you guys want to talk about the moment or just let it speak for itself?
I mean, we're definitely going to get into this
yeah.
because for me, I'd say before I actually talk about that is, don't you feel like over the last, let's say the last year, like the toxicity between Zoro and Sanji has been at an all-time high,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
it
Yeah.
think,
has. It has.
and I think because of that, moments like this are blown way out of proportion
Yep.
because what you have is those who literally are Zoro stans and they want to downplay Sanji as much as possible. They will be like, "Oh, Zoro's on the rooftop fighting Kaido. Sanji's down here taking L's," and it goes back to what I mentioned earlier with Zoro being very one-dimensional and he's doing what we expect him to do, but Sanji will get to his fight. Like eventually, he will
Yeah.
get to his fight, whoever he's going to fight, whether it's
Yeah, he's about to get his
King,
elephant.
but it's kind of like, I mean, I don't think that it's going to be Jack, by the way, but
Uh,
whoever he, like, I mean, Sanji could end up on the rooftop, right?
he
But
could. Yeah.
it's he has the other parts where he's got to save Momo, he's got to give Robin her moment, he's got to save the Scabbards, maybe go find out who Yamato is. He's got to expand the story, he uses Sanji to expand the story in other aspects. Whereas but because of that toxicity between, oh, Zoro's doing this, Sanji's doing this, whenever Sanji's doing something that's not as cool as Zoro, everyone's like, oh yeah, Lanji, like take that L. And I think that is what's blowing things like this out of proportion and
Mhm.
making Sanji look like he's some sort of like trash character when actually he's actually very, very, very great. Like he's an amazing character, and I don't think people. I think all it's either that or people are just really close minded.
Yeah.
It's probably both.
And,
Knowing people on Twitter, it's both.
yeah. And that's the thing with like Zoro people, because like when you look at Zoro, kind of tying into what you said earlier. I don't know if it was before or after we recorded, but a lot of Zoro is very one-dimensional. And so people try to, dig a little deeper with Zoro and all that. But at the end of the day, Zoro's there for the meatheads. If I could say that without getting crucified. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's there for the meatheads because a lot of Zoro's stuff is feats, like cutting down Pico or the Ashura thing, it's all feats where, kind of like what you were saying with Sanji, Sanji's a lot like ogres who are a lot like onions.
Oh my god.
They have layers. And that kind of also the fact that they have beef inside the series as well. Also, I find that funny how it just kind of transitions into real life with Sanji stands and Zoro stands. It's like, their bounty is 330 million. Well, mine's 320. Mine's 10 million more than yours. Things like that. Wait, how did Zoro get the girl? Like, why? I have a higher bounty.
Yeah,
just taking the Wano into account, but
yeah. There's and to drive home, like what I love is that ever since we saw the Kaido going into his hybrid form and he's covered up in the smoke. Mm-hmm. And people are like, yeah, Sanji, fucking loser. I'm just over here thinking, like, you do realize that Kaido is up there in his hybrid form with Big Mom, and he's looking at Zoro. Is he really going to be the infallible object that you guys claim he is in a couple of weeks when we finally see him? Because, unfortunately, the trope is being set up where the main villain is revealing himself through smoke and then it goes off screen. When that kind of thing happens, the next time we see the characters, they usually end up knocked out or dead.
Yes, 100%. And it's like everyone thinks that we're going to get this amazing moment of Zoro cutting Kaido in his hybrid form, and I'm like, well, next time we see Zoro, it's probably going to be like all of the guys on the floor, like basically on the brink of death. So I mean, but what that kind of does is Oda's sheltering Zoro in that aspect where we don't actually see the L, we don't see it unfold. Like we just know it happens. Whereas with Sanji, you kind of like live it. You see it happen. Like we saw him.
The journey.
We saw him getting his ass. We've seen him get his ass beat by Black Maria. Like she puts on the knuckle dusters, like the brass knuckles, and she's laying into him. He's like, oh, my armament hacky doesn't work. Like whereas like with Zoro, you just see like he's on the ground. Like so, it is the journey as you mentioned, and if I take it that one step like further, it's with Zoro, with Zoro, he's going to be on that rooftop. He's going to be giving you that meathead action. He's going to be doing what you expect from him. But is a story really great, or is a character really great if they just do everything you expect?
Yes.
Nope. We want to see them. Oh yeah, we want to see him challenged, and that's where the whole divisiveness, that's where the whole Sanji dynamic comes in, because you're either on board with him seeing him struggle or you're not. And I think a lot of fans, and myself included at the start, because of that whole that one panel was like, I'm going to leave to find the prostitutes. I was in that boat. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then over time, it's just pretty much like, okay, I can see where Oda's going. You could have done a lot of executions better, but I can see where the man is coming from. That doesn't excuse him for anything, but I can see him that he's trying to move Sanji from this place to this place to this place. And now, as of right now, 1006? We're on 1006, right? Yes.
As of recording, yeah.
As of today.
As of today. Yeah, 1006. Like he's a wild card. He can go pretty much anywhere he wants. We know he's either going to go to Yamato or he's going to go to Kinemon. So wild card. It's the journey where Zoro is, like you said, Prince. He's confined to one area. So yeah. I think that's this whole conversation. There's better execution that can be had, but
I mean, I think also. I I don't want to seem like I'm going on a run, but I actually am,
Do
because
it.
you guys know that I'm quite passionate about Sanji.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
Yes.
And
Do it.
and I think Oda uses him as a utility character. And I mentioned how Sanji could be at any aspect in the story; he could be anywhere. And if I go back to like Dressrosa, and I think Walkins, you mentioned how Zoro's about the feats, and he took out Pika. And the question I ask is, well, was taking out Pika a great feat? Because Pika wasn't even really fighting; he was running, right?
Mhm.
And then I look post time skip and I say, all right, pre time skip, Zoro was absolutely amazing. It was great, but I think Sanji was great as well. Pre time skip, post time skip,
Yes.
post time skip is kind of like, all right, he trained with Mihawk. That's amazing. But then who has he actually fought of any sort of real caliber? Because to me, my understanding of the story was that Virgo was actually Dofi's right hand man, right? Not
I think that's how they describe him. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
and so to me, how much do I actually rate Pika? Probably not that much. Sanji took an L on Dressrosa. Why? Because people like to go back to the whole him fighting Dofi, that little clash where his shin cracks or something like that. It was like a 2-second clash, and Sanji's shin cracked in the middle of the air or something like that when he was fighting Dofi. And I say, well,
Yeah.
if you look at that, people are like oh, massive L for Sanji, and I'm like, well, to be honest, at that moment, Law was running away from Dofi.
Yeah.
Luffy couldn't beat Dofi in Gear 4. I mean, he needed Law's help plus his haki running out, then coming back to go fight Dofi again. Like, people forget Dofi is crazy strong. Like, and
Yes.
like he's
Yes.
crazy strong, and the alternative is, well, had Zoro been in that scenario as well, he would have lost to Dofi as well. Like, it's just the fact that Sanji's used in that moment to clash with Dofi. You go back further and it's kind of like Sanji versus Virgo, and you see Sanji struggling with Virgo, and I mean, they're going back and forth, but Virgo was like full body hacky at that moment. Like, he'd shown us the best hacky that we'd seen at that point, like in terms of armament wise. Like, no one was like, flipping hell, this guy's got full body hacky. And I just feel like Sanji continuously is put in these moments where he's shown how strong the opponent is, so that when Luffy or someone is able to overcome them, they'll be like, okay, like Luffy's really, really strong. If that makes sense.
So what you're
Yes.
saying is Sanji is Vegeta.
God damn it! No.
Yeah.
Sanji is Vegeta.
Which Vegeta though? Are we talking Z or Super?
Yes.
No, listen. You're onto something, because Vegeta takes so many L's.
He's still my prince, dang it.
But Vegeta's crazy strong, like probably second to only Goku. Like,
Yeah.
crazy strong. But it's like, because he takes these L's so that Goku can flourish.
Exactly. Yeah.
By the way, I do have to mention real quick. It's like for the whole Virgo and Dofi thing, it's like, it is insane how people are like, Sanji couldn't defeat Virgo, even though it was implied that if he kept fighting, he probably could get the win. It's a shame there was an exploded factory. And with Doflamingo, it's like, he couldn't even last against Doflamingo in the sky. And to that, I
even,
say,
like, actually fight him.
Fucking Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Like,
He just blocked Doflamingo. Like, what more do you want? He has other things he needs to do right now.
If it's Doflamingo, if you fought Doflamingo and you got away alive, I am very impressed with your skills.
Yes,
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
I mean, so in one of my YouTube comments, quite recently, someone mentioned to me how they think, like, they were talking about how weak Sanji is, and they're saying that, oh, he can't fight a queen. He can probably just about tangle with Jack because he couldn't beat Dofi. And I said, well, that makes zero sense, because you're almost acting as if he hasn't grown. And we know the character's grown, because that's like me saying, well, Zoro shouldn't be up there fighting Kaido because the last battle he had was against Pika and he just about beat Pika. Like, so it's almost like, what, like, I don't know about you guys, but Sanji's probably fought harder opponents than Zoro has, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah,
even though
that does.
Zoro's steam passing, rolling past these opponents post time skip,
Yeah.
but none of them are actually that great, if that makes sense. So I don't really see him. The word I'm going to use is blooming, but you have to bloom to overcome your opponents. I haven't seen that from Zoro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
'cause,
like
like-
Oh, what were you gonna say, Watkins?
I was just gonna say, like, only a select couple Straw Hats have actually been challenged in the post time skip.
Yeah.
If like Luffy, definitely, because I mean he's main character, and main character's got a main character. There's Frankie with his manly duel against Senor Pink, which
Oh, that was amazing. Oh,
yeah, so I am taking that part. And I can't really think of anybody else right now. Oh, I guess Brooke, who fought Big Mom, but I mean, yeah. So like
It's
not
like a last stand kind of thing,
Yeah.
but that was still epic.
yeah, so like not many of the Straw Hats have been pushed, I guess, to a win. Because they
Yeah.
either get like really beaten down, or they do the beaten down. Like, and Zoro is the prime candidate for that because he has yet to be challenged in post time skip.
That's why I'm hoping that the Flying Six really do put up like a really fantastic fight against the Straw Hats, because
Yeah.
like just narrative sense, that should be their role. They should push their opponents like no other, Jinbei included. I'm not saying that because who is a tiger and I have bias.
Oh,
I'm
God.
just saying.
Yeah, but
I mean-
it's also that, and like the Toby Roper have been like hyped up to be almost commanders, almost commander level. If their prize was to fight a commander for their spot,
Yeah,
like
I think
they're
you're spot on.
tasked.
yeah,
Yeah. Their whole task was, hey, bring back my son, and I will let you fight a commander. By the
Yeah.
way, my son is crazy tough, by the way.
Well, what I was just going to say there is that what you mentioned, Walkins, was that the Flying Six have been hyped up to be commander level. One thing that we've all kind of been wanting is the Straw Hats to get their individual fights, these fights, and we've seen with Usopp and Nami, it's some people thought, oh, maybe they can actually take on Page One and Ulti. They probably weren't strong enough to go fight them, right? They can't fight them one-on-one, so they're doing this sort of tag team battle with Tama.
yeah,
But they're gonna get a fight with Robin. I feel like she's someone that was slept on a lot because she was crazy strong, right? Miss All Day Sunday, but we never really got to see her fight. She's just like left it to like the Monster Trio to do all the fighting.
yeah,
Whereas when she joined the crew, I was like, is this gonna throw the dynamics off? Because she's probably stronger than all of them, maybe even Luffy at that point. And now we're getting what we want. We're seeing these fights, and that whole Sanji moment with Black Maria, that wasn't to do anything. That wasn't for anything to do with Sanji. That was just Oda trying to hype up Robin. Like, we got all of those panels with her eyes and her looking devilish. And I mean, the channel was the title of the chapter was like, was it like the devil child or something?
yeah,
like that?
yeah.
I mean, that tells you that the chapter's about Robin and not Sanji. But once again, I talk about Sanji being that utility guy that it's just unfortunate that it had to be him, and maybe could Oda have wrote that slightly better, where Robin and Black Maria met without having to go through Sanji. And I mean, most of us in the community expected Robin and Black Maria to fight anyways. It's just how it was executed.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad with Sanji. It's just him being that utility player.
And yeah, and kind of speaking with Robin's role, like she only had one-on-one fight since joining the Straw Hats, and it was all the way back in Skypiea with whatever that guy's name was, because she's always been either support or crowd control. But we forget that when she was with Baroque Works, her other thing was assassination.
Yup.
And so now we're being reminded of all that shit, and she has support from Brooke, which is even better because I love Brooke. My two of my favorite Straw Hats together. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Shame she
All right,
couldn't
question.
assassinate Spandom.
Well,
Well, that's more to do with her will, isn't it? Because she was kind of like broken at that point.
Oh, she wanted that motherfucker dead, but that's another hate monger, the toxic brew discussion another day.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask, Mr. Prems?
No, I was. What was I going to say? Oh, would you be upset if it is actually a 2-on-1 versus Black Maria? That would you be happy with that, or would you be kind of like a little bit disappointed?
As long as Brooke is only there for support, like, because there's other people there to fight. So if he's like holding them back and maybe like, oh, let me take care of these webs. Like if he's just there for support, I'm okay with that. I can understand why people would want the one-on-one, but I don't mind the support role.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing like a team battle because that's my shit. Like, if anyone's seen my live reactions, me seeing the team up against Big Mom and Kaido has been my favorite thing. I love seeing the team up fights in One Piece. I think they're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I saw Robin and Brooke take on Black Maria, I'm not going to be mad if one backs up the other because the commanders are that strong, or if the Toby Roko are that strong. Then yeah, have the teamwork. Don't use the one-on-one for validation of a character's power. It's all right to have friends. That's the point of the story, guys. I'm just saying.
Oh. Well then.
I can tell you're really passionate about that.
I am. I love the team fight. Like for the longest
Yeah.
time, Law and Luffy versus Doffy was my favorite One Piece fight until
yes.
the whole rooftop skirmish. And oh, that was so good.
As long as Useless Kid does something, I'll be fine.
All right, motherfucker. Do you really want this talk again? I will put on the elevator music.
No, I think to be honest, right? So I'm a fan of Kid, but this is kind of like his final opportunity to actually show.
Yep.
I can agree. As much as it pains me, I agree.
He's like, if punching you didn't work, maybe I can crush you.
That's good logic, though. What are you talking about?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
It's not like Killer's doing his spikes through Kaido.
I need the explanation for that too, by the way. How the fuck does... All right, you know what? Hold on. Let's get this all set up here.
It's a sound wave. His attack was a sound wave, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
That's what I'm thinking it was. But... but seriously, it's like... I can imagine it's the Sonic thing, but does the sound like slice through Kaido, or is it like just an illusion, or was it like the visual that Oda wanted to give? Because I still don't understand how that sound spiral Sonic Hedgehog attack worked.
Yes.
What do you mean? Yes.
That's how it works.
I mean, isn't it similar to the way Apu uses his sound waves?
I guess so, maybe.
I guess, unless Kaido's ears were on his belly.
Wait,
this is perfect. Well, I mean, it's like, well, the reason that Luffy and Zoro got attacked was because the sound entered them and the whole body exploded. With Kaido, you don't really see sound from Killer going into his ears. It just kind of goes through his gut. So unless his ears
wait,
transformation
hold
go
on.
in his gut.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Snakes. They don't have ears, right?
No.
They don't. They hear through their scales, right? Or like their skin,
Vibrations.
right?
Yeah.
Boom! Figured it out. Boom! There it is.
Oh,
so
wait,
his whole body is an ear.
Actually, snakes have fully formed inner ear structures, but no eardrum. Instead, their inner ear is connected directly to their jawbone. Aha! So the discussion continues.
Well then, here we go. What about fish?
All right, let's take a look at here. Do fish fart is the first thing that comes up on Google.
I
Do
love this
fish
with the
have
elevator
ears?
music in the back.
I told you it's perfect. All right, so fish here, but their ears are on the inside. Okay, where? Bony fishes. Oh, good. You use that
Bony
form of.
fishes.
Yeah, you use that plural form. Thank you, Google. Bony fishes detect vibrations through their ear stones. Okay, where are the ears on fish? Where are ears on fish? Come on. Okay, fish here, but the ears. Oh my god, it's the same fucking thing. All right, fish do not have ear lobes, but they can have openings like ear canals. God damn it! Fuck you, Discovery. We are solving this mystery.
Yes, on this Sanji video, we are solving the mystery of do fish hear?
I mean, it's important,
Oh,
you know. It's like Sanji, you know, when
Yeah.
he cooks, he kind of has to separate the ears.
Yeah.
Maybe some fish in the One Piece world have poison ears. We're doing the world a favor.
This video is all about how Sanji's gonna cook Kaido.
Okay. All right, so the otolithic membrane. Okay, sensitivity to sound. It turns. Oh god damn it! You're right. Shit.
There
I'm
it
seeing
is.
the diagram here, and it looks like the whole fish's body allows vibrations to go through it. Like,
Wait, hold on.
like-
If that's the case, Apu is stronger than Kaido.
oh god damn it! I knew you were gonna go there.
Apu truly is top 5 in the verse.
No.
Apu for King of the Pirates.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
facts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Kaido does poorly against sound, but what about Big Mom? Yeah, that's right.
To be honest,
But-
Big Mom's the strongest Yonko, by the way. Like, she's a beast.
Yeah, yeah, I can be in that camp.
I mean, like, to be honest, like, if I'm 100% honest, I know this is a Sanji video, but I mean, we did go to
It ties in, yes.
It ties in, but like Big Mom's never been damaged, has she? Like it's only that one cut from the Mother Carmel photo, like we saw in the
Yeah.
flashback.
Yeah, it's her
Like,
only
we
damage
actually
has her only damage has been to herself.
to her
Like-
knee, like a little
yeah.
scrape to her kneecap.
Like, you know how on the rooftop, right? We've seen Kaido taking damage. Like we've seen Zoro cut him. We've seen Luffy hurt. Like Big Mom's like just chilling, man. Like Law
she's just
tried. Law tried to use that counter shot or something like that, or gamma knife, and she just like looked at him like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my god, all of her organs are homies.
My headcanon was that when Maul used the gamma knife, what he hit by accident was actually just one of the devoured orphans that Big Mom ate.
Oro is
One
her
of those
next child.
Who the fuck fucked her? Oh, don't even answer that. I know who. It's Kaido and Big Mom. Like how the Super Best Friends play put it out. It's like Batman and Catwoman. When they fight on rooftops, it's called fuck fighting. That's what Kaido and Big Mom did. They fuck fought on Onigashima.
They went for 3 days straight. That's how they became
Yeah.
best friends at the end.
Oh my god.
Big Mom was just like, that was good. Let's team up more often.
Remember when this was a Sanji video, guys?
No, this ties in. This ties in. See, because Sanji's gonna cook Kaido and serve it to Big Mom.
She eats him and gets fish powers.
Yeah, I mean, she is his mother-in-law.
Oh yeah, that's true. For a second, I thought you were like,
Sanji officially married? Is he officially married?
did he say I do?
I don't remember. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Well, there's only one way to find out. It does tie out to
Oh my
Sanji,
God.
so
Yeah. Oh my god!
All right, let's look this up, shall we? All right, I should be able to find this because I'm pretty sure I still have the file for that episode because
Oh
I'm
my
working on the
God.
Sanji video. Sanji and Puddin.
Another
wedding.
Sanji video, huh? Interesting.
I'm passionate about the guy, you know.
I mean, whilst you look at that, Hawkins, let's take this back to Sanji again because
Yes.
I don't know how much longer we're going to stay on or how much longer I've got.
Yeah.
But do you think Sanji can recover?
As a character,
Yes.
I do believe so. It just Oda's gonna have to go back to the way he thought of Sanji pre-time skip. Like just tone down on the gags just a little bit, especially in like a quote unquote serious situation. Like kind of like what we were talking about earlier with him just leaving for the ladies. Like, don't do shit like that, Oda, and Sanji will be fine. I think.
I'm in the same boat as Watkins, where it's like I can still hop on board the Sanji train. It's just, man, I just want some better execution. That is literally all I ask for, and
Yeah.
I think that's where JD stands too, because I think he said the whole point of his whole video was like Sanji has changed. It's kind of for the worst, but he's still holding on hope. And it's like, yeah, that's me. He hasn't been obliterated, but that's the dark truth. It's like
I haven't given up like other people have. I mean, I might meme about it, be like, oh, I give up on Sanji, fuck him. But like, I haven't fully given up on him, so there is hope.
Yeah. Oh, so God fucking damn
it. How about, all right, it's in this arc, what do you think he has to do to sort of recover?
I mean,
this is going to sound rich coming from me,
no.
but
there we go.
I kind of want him to just kind of like be his pre-time skip self, to not like have the gag there. You could still have the gag. That's fucking fine. It's a part of his whole thing. Just know when the right time to use it is. Don't let it be the one trait that has been defining you this arc and why everyone's got pissy over it. Just put that to the background. Focus on priorities. You know, just literally, if Sanji can keep it in his pants, I can be fine. I'll be fine with this. Because I know that from here on out, like, I think we've gone through the worst blunders Sanji will face during the raid. And I think if he's going into a fight, he at least will be occupied enough to not do any more mistakes or Oda not making any more writing blunders with his character. So, literally, that's all I can ask for at this point. If he can keep it in his pants, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stop you there because just before Hawkins goes, I think we're going to see a little bit more of that because he's definitely going to see Yamato.
All right, well that's fine. And then you could always have like this thing of like a really funny joke would be like Sanji meets Yamato. It's like, what a beautiful woman. I am Odin. Oh, you're like the queers I've met back then. No.
Aw. With me, I mean, I think we are past the kind of like, I mean, I know a lot of people have been making parallels between this and Enies Lobby, but I think we are past that point of, all right, well, Sanji's fun gag stuff is over now. You know, we'll have it again probably if he sees Yamato, if he's actually going to where they are. But yeah, he'll have his badass moment coming up soon. Which also leads me to another theory. This is just me just being speculative and all that stuff. I think Sanji will finish off all three commanders.
Mm-hmm.
All three.
Yep. I think he'll just pop in. So he'll have like an actual kind of fight with Jack. Because they're both like Jack is already nerfed a little bit because of being on the roof and being neck diffed by Sulongs. So Sanji has his fight with him. Then he goes into the little thing and Queen's almost down because he's been fighting like Chopper and Marco. Oh, here comes a kick from Sanji. Boom. And then King's like, what the fuck? And then boom, there we go. Everyone loves Sanji's hyping up Sanji. It'll be Wanji season all over again for people. And then they'll shit on him again when he starts being a gag again.
Sanji season. Man had his
And
own
that's just-
year that was stolen by Mochi Man.
And that's just wild speculation as well.
I mean, I'm just trying to work out how it's going to happen. You're making it seem very, very simple. But, I mean, I don't feel like Oda's going to do that for some reason.
No. Again, it's wild speculation.
No, definitely, because I think there's a lot more to happen. On Onigashima.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I'm guessing, well, for anyone who's seen 1006, you know, Sanji's got the two options. Does he go to the Scabbards? Well, both of you have read it, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So does he go to the Scabbards or does he go to Yamato and Momonosuke? And I think he does go to Yamato and Momonosuke. And I think Sanji, I mean, he's going to get a really cool moment. So, and I think what Oda's going to do is just delay to that moment. And my theory, although it's probably most likely wrong, is that with Jack, that was just like a teaser for one chapter. And Oda's just making us, he's almost kind of trying to misdirect us that Sanji's going to go fight Jack. And I think that's a matchup for the Scabbards. So you could see Jack's flashback. He told them, "Oh, don't touch any of the Scabbards. They're really strong." That's what he told Black Maria. He goes, and I think there's still unfinished business there. I mean, they're all still injured, right? So I think that battle continues. Sanji goes to Momonosuke, and Yamato finds out what's going there, and then I think he turns his attention to, depending on what's going to happen with, let's say, Marco and Co, because we've got the whole Perospero introduction and we don't know whose side Perospero is going to take. Does he take Marco's? Does he take Jack? And does he take Queen and King's? And maybe Sanji ends up there and fight and joins Marco and fights those guys. But I ultimately I think Sanji ends up on a rooftop. I 100% think Sanji ends up on a rooftop, and I don't know exactly how it happens. But it could be a part where the guys are defeated and literally Kaido's about to finish them all on, and then Sanji comes to save the guys in the end. But I do think he ends up on a rooftop because he gets that moment again, not necessarily fighting Kaido and Big Mom, but coming to the support and the aid of Luffy and Zoro.
Okay. Oh. Trevor,
Yeah.
There we go.
I had to cough there, but yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, that'd be
Anything could happen at this point. The man is a wild card at this point.
Yeah.
And I think, doesn't that not go back to my whole Sanji being a utility character, where it's like there's so many story options as to where he can go, right? He can go. He literally can go check up on Chopper and be like, "Oh, how's that antidote going?" He could be the one to stop Hyogoro dying in the next chapter. Like, it's like he could be at any point, anywhere, at any point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he could come in with a flaming kick and heal Hyogoro for a little bit.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think that pretty much answered the question. It's like, I know some people that might watch this video and be like, they might come in with like man, fucking Sanji, they're gonna fucking hate all over him. I think they might be surprised that all three of us are just like, yeah, there's blunders, but he hasn't been obliterated, not yet.
I don't know.
And I hope that I'm willing to bet that Mr.
Sanji
Prince
Sanji sucks.
Fucking hate monger, the toxic brew. Yeah, but I'm willing to bet that Mr. Prince, he changed some minds here and there. I bet he also gave me some perspective on themes, Mr. Prince. So I thank you a lot for that.
I mean, whenever I get in the stream, I'm always going to be defending Sanji and pushing my Sanji agenda. So anyone who hates Sanji, fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah, Watkins.
Yep. What are you talking about? I always have to defend Odin to you.
Yeah, and I always have to defend
you can't even remember his name. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
All we do in the group chats is either fuck Bullet or fuck Momonosuke or fuck Odin.
Well, yeah, fuck Momo.
Momo's about to save. He's about to save the whole of Wano.
No. One of
So
these
here's my
days, I just
theory.
want him. Go on.
I was gonna say, here's my theory. It's a hot take, right? I was gonna do a video on it, but I actually can't be asked. So here's the Momo.
Sorry.
Right? He's got like the equivalent of Kaido's fruit, doesn't he? But the smile version or whatever it's called.
Oh no.
Yeah. Kaido's currently lifting Onigashima to drop it on Wano. Momo is basically gonna use his fruit theory over.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I've heard that before.
I could see that happening. It's like a spur of the moment thing, and he stops the island from falling.
Yeah.
Then at that point, I want one of the villagers down there, like, oh my god, look, that creature is holding the island. It wants to drop it on us. Shoot it.
Yeah, because fuck Momo.
I mean, if not, right, a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let them die. Let them give us some consequences.
Oda doesn't really kill people like that.
I can dream. I do always like to point out that someone pointed out, and I like bringing this up too, where people like the criticisms like, oh, Oda doesn't know how to kill people. It's like, do you guys remember in Alabasta that really adult conversation about how Vivi can't save everyone because in war people are going to die and that's just it? I always like bringing that up because, like, I can't imagine Momo dying, unfortunately. God damn it. But, but it's like, a lot of other people are going to die, and that's going to have some weight on the guy. So, if his character gets better for it, I'm on board. I could take it. Just don't join the crew because you really don't deserve it.
So that was actually going to be my last question because I don't think I've ever heard Mr. Preps talk about this. Do you think Momo's going to join the crew?
So, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot.
Oh, no.
And I mean a lot, because particularly from last chapter where I've seen... So, I always get myself in, like, some sort of, like, in a zone where I'm like, all right, who's going to join the Straw Hats? Is it Yamato? Is it Carrot? Is it Momo? Is it Tama? Right? And at some point I thought, yeah, Momo's going to join the crew. and then at other points I'm like, this guy doesn't deserve to be on the crew, if that makes sense. Like,
Thank you.
If we think about where the story's going, and things only going to get harder and tougher, Momo being on the ship doesn't help anyone.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Now, here's the counter argument. So there's those theories about age in Momo.
Yeah. I
think if that does happen, he then does join the crew, because he still needs to go through those experiences and gaining the strength in order to actually protect his country. So, I mean, he needs to come back a legend ultimately, because he's got the other sword. He's got the other sword that Odin gave to him. Right? So is it I forgot the name of the sword right now.
Amino Habikiri.
Yeah, that's the one. And to me, it's kind of like, you don't just mention and name the other sword and we don't see anything more from it after that, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So if he does age and he can wield Odin's sword, because how tall was Odin? Odin was a giant, wasn't he?
Like Odin was a massive a man. He was a Chad of a man. He was massive man of a man of men. Like, literally, I think,
don't quote me on it, but he was like over 380 centimeters or something like that.
Something like that. I think.
Yeah, like,
so.
And that's crazy. That's crazy tall. Like,
yeah,
it's like 12 foot,
something like that. 12 or 13.
Looking it up.
Oh my god.
So one issue I've always had, anyway, just as a side note, is how he was carrying Enmar, and how Zora's carrying Enmar if Odin was like 12 foot.
Yeah.
But how I see it is, if Momo does age and he can then yes, he does join the crew. If he's still a kid, I don't see him joining the crew.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My theme would be, even if he does get aged up, that's like it's kind of like Shazam, but you don't get any powers from it. You just change your body. You don't really gain much combat experience. My whole thing is that he should stay on the island because at long last he can surpass his dad in the one way he never could before, actually being there for his country, learning, bonding with his people. Don't go to sea because we got Blackbeard, we got motherfucking Elbaf, we got the Navy, all of the Navy to deal with soon enough. It's like, do not bring a child into this massacre, please. Also,
I
382 centimeters.
Okay.
That was his height.
Gotcha.
What was that? 382, did you say?
Yes, 12.5 good old American feet.
Crazy. Absolutely.
My thing is, I'm kind of with Trevor. He needs to learn to be more of a leader, compared to like being a legend that his father is, because that's just trying to copy your father and trying to walk in his footsteps. Is just like, no, be your own person, be better than him. Because, shit. What was I gonna say though? Because Yamato needs to join the crew, and Carrot will join here as well because they will mimic Odin in that aspect.
Unless Carrot dies.
Unless Carrot dies, yeah.
that was gonna be my question. Do you think both Carrot and Yamato join?
I think they will, and it's gonna be exactly how Odin joined Whitebeard and Roger, where they're just like, yeah, Yamato's here, the new Straw Hat, yeah. And then Carrot just pops up, be like, hey guys, I followed you here.
Oh.
Kind of like what she did when they were going to Whole Cake Island, where she kind of stowed away.
You're going for the repeated timeline.
How does Perospero sort of like his words, I'd say, to Carrot, in terms of not wanting to see any more of your friends die, impact her joining the crew? Do you feel like she actually wants to see Pedro's will out, and that's why she joins the crew?
Mm-hmm.
Because wasn't it Pedro that wanted to join Roger and go see and go and basically go to Raftal and stuff like that, and he never actually got to live that out, and so Carrot ultimately does that.
Yeah, she inherits that will and is just like, I'm gonna see this through, just like Pedro would have wanted. And when she confronts Perospero, she'll be like, nobody's gonna die because I'll protect him. Shonen MC words, even though I'm not an MC, but I will be when I'm part of the Straw Hats.
Oh, I'm going for a little more dark on my part, where
and then Perospero has a heart attack.
Okay, so we can put Kira in the story another day. My little theory is that Carrot is so sought on revenge after Perospero. Like, she's so sought on revenge that she basically injures herself too much, or she goes overboard and she can't join the crew because of her injuries. She can help, but she goes too far trying to avenge Pedro, and that's her downfall, because all we've seen from her is that she gets very emotional way too quickly.
Wait, that could be Sanji's moment. Helping Carrot.
And
it all
find
ties in.
Perospero.
It all ties in together. It all ties
in.
Oh God!
See, you guys just thought we were talking bullcrap out of our butts. No, this still ties into Sanji.
It's all connected by the
it's always connected to Sanji.
That's it. That's his all blue. It's all connected.
Everyone's connected to Sanji. Sanji, you're the all blue.
And in regards to Yamato, how do you guys feel like she joins the crew? Do you think she just literally hops in?
Yeah, 3,000%. She, like, Luffy's gonna be like, hey, you want to join us? Sweet. Because in chapter 1000, we got that color spread of all the Straw Hats, and certain enemies surrounded them. And who was among the Straw Hats? Good old Yamato.
Do you think she messes up the strength dynamic? Because how strong is she? Where would you rank her in terms of strength?
I would put her probably on, like, the very cusp of the oh god damn it! There's like the what is it? It's like the Winkling trio, the mid trio, 3 beasts or whatever, three monsters.
And then Luffy.
Yeah, I would like put her.
Jinbei probably pretty much.
Yeah, I would put her like right under the new 3 monsters, like right under Sanji, Zoro, and Jinbei, right there.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Until we see more.
But the reason I say that is because right now we've got Robin fighting a commander, right, in Black Mario. I've always felt like Frankie's always been strong. He's literally having a one-on-one fight. Yamato joining, does she become the strongest? He or she, girl? That's I'm going to say female, just to say female right now, but she would be the strongest, quote unquote, female in the crew at that point, wouldn't she? She'd be stronger than Nico Robin.
Yeah, that logic sounds sound enough. Yeah. Strength shouldn't even really be like that much of a factor. It's like, hey, here's what you can bring to the crew. Oh, okay, yeah, we could use that. Combat ability's nice too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, but what does Yamato actually bring to the crew?
Boobs.
I mean, because the reason I say that is because I feel like everyone has to have some sort of dynamic what they bring to the crew. They've got to bring something to the crew, right? Whether it's Robin's archaeology or Sanji's cooking skills, or Chopper being a doctor, Nami's navigation, Brooke being a musician. What does Yamato actually bring outside of her combat abilities? Because we've got that in Zoro.
So I have a couple things. First off, in the greatest game that I've ever played, Skies of Arcadia, there is a role for foreign emissaries to be on your ship. So that's why I always envisioned Yamato could be, because in Skies of Arcadia you can recruit people from literally the Wano equivalent of that world, and be like, hey, why don't you join our crew, Princess Yoegi? And it's like, oh, okay, sure. It's like, yes. Or number 2, if we have to talk One Piece specifically, she does have the Journal of Odin, containing very sacred knowledge about the End Islands and whatnot. Maybe some very crucial information.
See, for me, it depends what's revealed, because I don't want the Straw Hats to kind of like just be like, okay, let's read this journal. Oh, this is what happened. We've got all the information we need. I need to know how much is in that journal and how much is going to be used. If it's something like, oh, after you've gone to Elbaf, you need to go to Lodestar, I don't mind that. But if it's something like, oh, the One Piece is located on the moon, right? So you need to go to that. To me, that kind of like ruins it.
Yeah. Along the lines of what you said, it depends on what's in the notebook, but also she would probably leave that with Momo.
Yes, but so how it would work, I'd say. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
Is I'd say if they go to Elbaf and then everyone was like, okay, let's go to this other island, and she said, oh, I don't think that's what we're meant to do. Aren't we meant to go to Lodestar? Because I wouldn't almost mind that, because that's just telling us where we're going next in our journey, because she's read something. And if that's the only thing that she takes from the notebook and tells us, then I think that's cool. But if she gives too much away, or there's too much in that journal, I don't think I'd like that.
And you know what? I just thought of her role. Journalist. She chronicles their adventure. Even though she's joining so late in the game, she could still hear like some stories and all that and write it in her own journal. Because I mean, we don't see Luffy sitting down at a desk writing his own memoirs or anything. And I mean, the only other person that would do that would probably be Robin, because everybody else is busy doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So she could be the journalist. And then Carrot is the lookout. I'm sticking to that agenda, damn it.
I mean, I guess I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Because oh my god, now I'm just thinking of how Wano can end with them sailing off and then Yamato just sitting down being like, this is the start of my journal.
Yes.
Ooh. I just got ooh. Ooh. Yes.
You better
The agenda
copyright that
pushes.
shit.
I'm copyrighting
Copyright
that.
that shit.
Next video is gonna be why Yamato and will join the crew.
Yeah, you have 2 days to put it out. Go.
Damn it! I have too much to do. Oh my god! Random stroke of genius. I love it.
I mean, I actually need to record a video myself today at some point.
Yeah, I gotta record a lot.
I have to work on my Tagoro video at some point today. Oh, by the way, before we end things off, we have one last loophole to cover. So, in terms of marriage,
yeah.
I'm not saying anything because I'm halfway through a video on this.
Ooh, very nice. But yeah, according to One Piece, marriage is usually you are married if you perform a kiss in front of others. So even though Puddin kissed Sanji, it wasn't really a performative kiss. It was just like a spur of the moment. Let's erase your memories. God damn it, fucking damn it. Why'd you have to do that? That kind of kiss. So technically, they are not married, but we could say that they are still engaged.
Hold on there though. Hold on. A little thing, and I have a question for. Was there a slime person or a carpet there? Because there are your witnesses.
Okay, well. God damn it! I have to look that up now. Let me pull up my fucking video.
Isn't the whole thing where if they perform a kiss, they are married? So technically they are married, but basically because Puddin wiped away Sanji's memory, it doesn't actually.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she did. Well, they're married.
They are technically married.
On technicalities, they are married, but because she wiped away his memory, like no one knows except us, the readers, and Puddin.
And her witnesses. Yes.
We're the all blue in terms of love.
Oh my god.
Oh man, is there? I think we pretty much covered everything. Does anyone have anything else to add, or just to talk about, or are we all good?
Nah, I'm spent.
Yeah, I think we're all good. I've got to head off in a sec anyway. So
yeah.
All right. Well, the links to everyone's channels, except mine, because you're here in the first place. But the links to Walk-ins and Premises channels are in the description and at the end screen. So go check them out, please. I beg you, do it. Otherwise, you're a flat robot. Fuck you.
What?
Go sub to these two. I ran out of ideas. Okay, I found out fun ways to describe how you should subscribe to these two. So fuck you.
Sanji for the win.